welcome back to Creative Process with myself, Jared Klein. I know it's been a while. Episode 96 was about, it seems like it was a year ago, but it wasn't that long ago. It was just in the end of October. But anyways, welcome back. Today, we have an awesome guest on. I know it's been a little bit long overdue, but Nick Gougas, pronounced that correctly, Nick Gougas, welcome to the podcast. Awesome to have you on. I know we were going to do a little earlier, but some events happened, and I didn't want to bring it up, but I just want to bring people up to speed with, all that situation. I'm sure if people are into sports and everything, they know what went on. But now we're here, we're fresh, everything at least, obviously it's a tragedy. No one wants it to happen, but we're good to go. We're focused. We're good. Nick, welcome. Thank you for coming on, taking the time out of your day, to, have a chat with a stranger.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me on. I appreciate that. I was looking forward to doing this. I know we've been kind of playing tag over Twitter DMs for a while now, but I'm glad we finally got to sit down together and get this going. I'm excited.
For sure. I'm excited as well. This will be a good episode. I'm excited to have you on to get the podcast going again.
Right.
But yeah, anyways, Nick, why don't you take time to introduce yourself to the people who don't know who you are, and then we'll get into what we have slated for today.
For sure, yeah. My name is Nick Gougas, as Jared said. I'm a graphic designer for the Kansas City Chiefs. I've been with them for almost 2 years now. I think we're at a year and almost 10 months. I started off there as a seasonal assistant, basically kind of intern level. Ended up getting hired on full time in June of 23. So been full time for like 9-10 months now. So yeah, almost 2 years with the Chiefs, mainly kind of touching digital, social, that kind of realm. But obviously my hands are everywhere. I kind of deal with anything and everything on the marketing side. We have a really, really strong group of designers and creatives, but we kind of all help out wherever. So no one really has a set area of where they work always. We all kind of just touch all the areas. But yeah, my focus and my forte is that digital social area. And we have a lot of fun doing all that stuff. And obviously it's been so much fun doing it for a team that's good like the Chiefs. We went the distance the last couple of years and won back-to-back championships. So it's a lot of opportunities to put more content out and just have fun and experiment with different kind of postseason brands. So
Right. Awesome. Yeah. Well, we'll touch on, the whole Kansas City Chiefs type of thing. Maybe not from the sports side of thing specifically, but more, from your perspective and working within the creative department and everything on that side of things. But you started in collegiate athletics, am I correct, at Missouri?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I started at Mizzou Athletics. So here, I'll give you my whole story real quick. I originally I'm from Southern California. I'm from Los Angeles area. So I grew up in SoCal, and I originally was going to Mizzou for kind of sports communication, journalism kind of type side of things. And I realized kind of halfway, even towards the end of my college career there, it wasn't really where I wanted to go with my career. And I was kind of, knew I had that creative and artistic side and wanted to try my hand at that. So I remember reaching out to Mizzou Athletics, over email. I emailed Allie Fisher. She's with the Cavaliers now. Just basically asking for just, hey, do you guys need help? Any opportunities I can kind of step in and do some work for you guys? I'd love to get my foot in the door, just get going. And she, graciously had me in for an interview, kind of just asked me, questions on where I want to go with my career, what kind of work I want to do with Mizzou, and it all kind of lined up. She offered me a position with Mizzou, and I kind of helped her out for a few months, and then she took off, and kind of the reins went over to Jessie Carpenter, who's I owe so much to Jessie. She's with Sporting KC now, but she was my next kind of director of graphic design at Mizzou. I did a lot of work with her, mostly my entire senior year. So that was, so, it was, I credit so much to everything that I did at Mizzou. That got me obviously to where I am now. And, but I also did other kinds of design my senior year. I worked as a page designer and an infographic designer for the Columbia Missourian newspaper. So that kind of taught me different kind of skills that that sometimes you don't really expect to apply to what you what's the things I do today. But looking back, everything you kind of learn in those environments you can put together and apply to like the work I'm doing now. So
Right.
everything I kind of like my senior year was just design. It was Mizzou, it was the Missourian. My days were long, but it was, looking back, it was so worth it. So yeah, and then obviously that kind of led me to where I am now. Applied kind of towards the end of my senior year to the Chiefs. Jesse found the job and uh, shot it to me because she actually used to work as a seasonal for the Chiefs a few years ago. So she recommended it to me, and I applied, and the rest is history. And that's where I've been since.
Hell yeah! What a job to get right out of college.
Yeah, super,
Holy shit!
super, super fortunate and grateful, and just been so much fun.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're coming in a part of the Chiefs franchise where, I mean, there's dynasty talks on the sports side of things, but going into that, I mean, I take you're a football guy, right? So
Yeah.
you know about, their reputation and everything like that and how hard it is to do what they're doing. But
Hmm.
from the creative side of things, I mean, obviously going into it, you're going to want the job. You're going to want to work for an organization that's successful. Their main focus is produce results on the field, and they've been doing that for the past, pretty much since Patrick Mahomes came, and honestly since Andy Reid was here. So, or was there, not here. I'm not a part of the Chiefs. Did you hear that bark by chance? Could you hear that?
Very faintly, like I barely heard the end of it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, my dog's barking at something downstairs right now. I don't know what he's
You're all
doing.
good.
Um, but yeah, so from a creative side of things, I mean, you mentioned your team a little bit, and
Hmm.
all that. So from a creative side of things, what is it like working with, back-to-back Super Bowl champions, the coveted Kansas City Chiefs, obviously at the moment, coveted Kansas City Chiefs.
Hmm.
Yeah, what's that like? What's the team like? What's the process like? Developing in-season creative and everything like that.
Yeah, no, it's obviously, it's like you said, it's a super exciting time to be involved with this team. I mean, gotten obviously 2 years ago and have won back-to-back Super Bowls. So I mean, we've experienced it all. It's been so much fun, and like you said, like it's exciting, and like I obviously come to work today super excited and grateful to be a part of everything. But we have such a strong creative team as well. So the kind of breakdown of our team is like my boss is Jordan Giesler. And then we have Drew Morris, another graphic designer, Amanda Brisso, who is a senior brand designer. And then there's me. And then we just actually had our seasonal takeoff for a new job. Her seasonal kind of window was over, so she took off. Her name was Carissa. But the five of us, that's kind of who it was this season. And I can't say enough good things about each and every one of them. I mean, we're like they seem more of a family to me than they do seem like coworkers. And I feel like when you walk into an environment like that and every day, and you can just joke around and have a good time with people you work with, and I feel like nothing but good things can be a product of that. And it's just so lucky that we all click like that. And I think we're all talented. We're all like very personable and just get along so well. And I think that just is a tribute to how strong we are as a creative team, and just credit a lot to that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of the breakdown of the team. Jordan, incredible boss. I mean, he's the perfect leader in my opinion. He knows when to be serious and when to joke around with us, but he has such an eye for good design and good branding, and it just like kind of trickles down to all of us. And I think we all get inspired by him on a daily basis, and it's just a good system. It's really good good creative team, and super fortunate.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, this may be a stupid question, but does, the competitiveness of the team, does that directly correlate to I don't want to say competitiveness between the creative team, but more of the aspiration to develop, that top tier content? Do you think that directly translates?
100%. I take pride in like obviously how good the team is, and I want to make sure that all of our like incredible fans take pride in the team as well,
Mm-hmm.
and the content they put out. And I mean, I want people to, when they see Chiefs content, I want it to feel as elite as how good the team is. I want it to kind of go hand in hand like that, and we all feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just super motivating. I mean, like seeing the guys go out every Sunday and ball out and win games and win Super Bowls. It's just like it just makes us want to be so much better and make an elite product to kind of display that. And So I 100% agree. Like that does, that does play into kind of where our mindset is um, with our content and how we market the team. And I think it goes hand in hand.
Right. Is there pressure with that? Like on the flip side, do you feel like do you feel like there is sometimes maybe over consideration of producing that A1 content, right? Like maybe there's not as many chances taken or, like that type of pressure.
I think that I wouldn't necessarily say that. I know that at least Drew and I on the social kind of digital side, we our kind of mindset is let's keep pushing new ideas. Let's keep pushing new techniques out. And we'll let kind of Jordan reel us back in if he has to. But Jordan's like he gives us so much creative freedom, and so much room to experiment and implement new things into the brand, which I think which is what makes it um, which makes it strong and makes us more comfortable designing. Is we don't really feel like um, or kind of handy like or handcuffed by any kind of yes, we have a like brand guide and system in place,
Right.
but I mean we do little things throughout the season to kind of evolve that look and push new things. So we kind of let Jordan reel us back in, but like that doesn't, I mean, we're Drew and I are always pushing ourselves. I mean, it's kind of we're showing each other just stuff we make and
Right.
like just critiquing it, and we each get better that way. And like I'll be like, hey, here's things I like about it, here's things I don't. And he'll do the same for me, and that's just pushes us in incredible ways, and it allows us to just get more comfortable and put out just content we're comfortable and happy with. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just how it goes, and it's been great so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I asked that question just simply because I know with some organizations, tradition is humongous. I mean, I'm not saying tradition isn't humongous with the
Hmm.
with the Chiefs, um, but sometimes there's been a situation that I've been in where the development of ideas are always there's always the roadblock of consideration for consistency with what's been done in the past and where what the
Sure.
fan base is used to, that type of stuff when it comes to marketing ideas and social ideas and stuff in that front. So I know obviously organizations are different from organization to organization, consideration on the creative front, and I think that's evolving as time goes on, and consideration on the creative front is getting more and more, serious. And,
Hmm.
that digital footprint that brands want to have, that's becoming more and more important to, market not only to their local fans, but their international fans, especially in the NFL now with the NFL expanding to different countries, So
Right.
I think, I think that whole aspect of how to market digitally and how to construct, whether it's a graphic or a video or something like that, the consideration has molded into be creative and eye catching rather than
Hmm.
let's stick to our black and white traditions.
Right.
I'm liking the transition. I'm liking that. I mean, the brand that the brand that comes to mind in the NFL is the Green Bay Packers. Granted, I'm from Wisconsin. It's local. I know, whatever. I'm a fanboy to the Green Bay Packers, whatever. Tradition is huge within that organization, and you can see that directly correlate with what they put on social. Now, halfway through the season, they made like a switch into, they may have hired different social people or saw their social rankings come out on the NFL when they
Right.
put that
Right.
out, because I think they were like dead last or like 30th or something in the league, so they probably wanted to make a switch. But like they don't really, or at least they haven't really, gone out and like went with like meme trends or
Yeah.
like done like, really molded to stuff that's off brand, that's not the Packers. That's not traditional. That's not, the Packers, their brand is like not playing around. They're serious. They're appealing to their traditional working class um, Wisconsin audience, and that's just been how they have been. And now I see the consideration molding a little bit, but that's good to hear that there's a lot of creative freedom within your organization, and I feel like with the amount of eyes that are on your brand, it is cool to be able to have that creative freedom that, you push out cool stuff where there's, I don't want to say no strings attached, but there's like, you can go in different directions, throw different compositions together, do whatever. I don't want to say whatever you want because obviously I'm not in there, but have a sense of, hey, I have this idea, let me go do it. That type of stuff.
Yeah. And that's what Jordan kind of does. And that's why we're not afraid to kind of pitch ideas. Like if we have an idea, we throw it at him and he goes, all right, let's see it. And if you can execute it and it looks good and it's on brand and it's something that we feel comfortable putting out, then let's put it out. And that's a beautiful part of our creative team. And I think that like you said, like it's every team and organization has like their different target markets and audiences that they market to. There's a different kind of demographic like wherever you look. But we know our fan base and we know who views our content, and we know like what kind of a time it is for the team. It is now, and we know that we are just generating lots of new fans right now, like younger fans, just people that are fans of, let's say, like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, just like maybe like a younger Gen Z generation. They're like on the digital social side, like, yeah, like those, like you want to just see kind of cool graphics with those players. And that's the kind of that. I mean, when you have like guys like Patrick and Travis and like two of the most marketable, faces in sports right now, like people just like seeing them as much as they can. And I mean that, like, we have so much fun. Like we make so many, graphics for both those two guys. And obviously we know how important they are and want to make them look as good as they can. And but yeah, like we know who we market to, and we know who we don't. And so that kind of just allows us to kind of make those decisions and like make content based on that. So
For sure.
Yeah.
It's funny that you bring up Travis and Patrick because I was going to ask, has there been like, how do I word this question? Within like conversations within your creative team, has there been conversations on like, are we doing too much Patrick and Travis right now? Like, has that been a conversation? Like, maybe let's sprinkle in like Chris Jones or Pacheco a little bit,
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, you can say that. But I mean, we know how relevant these two guys are, and I don't think we never really kind of feel like we're doing too much. I mean, people want to see them, and I mean, it works. And I mean, we do try to, like, we highlight as much of our team as possible. And I think we do a good job of doing that as well. But I mean, I think when you have a duo like that, generational, especially with all the stuff going on off the field with both of them, and I think you definitely have to capitalize on that and do the best you can doing so, because it's just like I said earlier, it's just a special time to be like with the Chiefs, and like these players aren't like, it's generational. So I don't really feel like we have that thought too often. Is let's tone it back. I mean, we have our content schedules and everything, and I mean we budget for different types of pieces of content that go out, but like we love showing those guys. I mean, it's more than just those two. Like we have so many like elite players in our team, so it just kind of makes it easy to spread the love around and show everyone. So but yeah, definitely, I mean, those two guys, incredible. And in all assets of not just sports, but just as human beings, just great humans, and just absolute characters, and just makes our job as a marketing team a lot of fun, and probably a little easier. So
right. It's always easier when they're playing good.
Right.
Something I want to ask you is, I mean, we've mentioned this before, right? We've mentioned this pretty much this whole podcast of how the position of the Chiefs franchise right now, not only within the NFL but the world, and how prestigious it is. But on the design side of things, where do you see your team like being trailblazers? Within, whether it is on the marketing side or whether it is on, the graphics that you guys produce, where do you see your team creating trends? And even if it is something that, maybe in the works or what you guys are talking about, on that side of things.
Yeah, it's a great question. I know our kind of philosophy is we want to be the world's team. This is a time we want to have them like all eyes on us and be a team for everyone, no matter where you are on this planet. So that's kind of our main philosophy. And In terms of like creating trends, like maybe design wise, I mean, we take inspiration. We have kind of Monday mood board meetings at work where we all kind of get together and just bring together ideas and just things we find that don't even have to do with sports at all. Like
Hmm.
that's like kind of the key to finding new design trends and stuff you want to bring into our brand is just by pulling stuff from things you might not ever think that you'd find inspiration from. And um so we all kind of bring ideas and bring our own things we find and critique each other and kind of we talk through how these can be implemented to the brand. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can. And I mean, a lot of last season was where we took our social look was what was from these Monday mood meetings and pulling just really random ideas together, and seeing how we can apply that to our brand. And
Hmm.
I think we got some good stuff last year. And I mean, the way the brand kind of evolved last year was a testament to that. And that's kind of where we find our inspiration, and try to be trailblazers and kind of bring new design trends to the sports world that you see elsewhere. I mean, for example, like the Germany campaign we did this year for, I think this was week 9. This was a process that started like well in the off season. Like we didn't kind of start this a few weeks before this game. We
Hmm.
were looking at this stuff, March, April, May, those kind of early months in the off season. And we always would meet and pull together. We do presentations on like on the German culture and um, Frankfurt as a city and like how Frankfurt's different from let's say like a Munich. And we don't want to get those we want to make a brand that's true to like where we're playing
Hmm.
and make it something that like the people there can appreciate. And so these are processes that start like way before people probably think they do. Um and that's just, I mean, I'm a big fan of how we pulled off Germany this year. And I mean that's just a testament to how much preparation there was to it. And
Hmm.
like we were pulling just patterns from different architectures and just a lot of, it was very like Bauhaus inspired as well. But just finding kind of like I mean, it's easy to kind of get lost in like sports trends and like what you see in sports design. But I mean, if you don't want to get kind of like watered down and look like everyone else, you have to find this inspiration from things like that. And
Right.
so I mean, that's kind of the preparation we put into that and finding ideas and inspiration. And in effort of doing that, we kind of hope that we can kind of spark trends in the sports world, I guess. And show things that people aren't used to, but
Hmm.
that have existed for a while. But
For
that's
sure.
kind of like our approach to all that.
Yeah, cool. I mean, yeah, I was just curious because usually the trends start with with the teams or with the organizations that are put onto that pedestal. With the most
Right.
eyes, everyone's looking at what you're doing. Everyone's looking at your brand for inspiration, and those trends usually stem off of that. So, I mean, I think everyone in their creative meetings are looking to start trends.
Right.
I really think that. But I like how you mentioned, you know, just looking around the industry at creative that's developed, you do see a lot of consistency. Whether it's with typefaces, whether it's with photo treatment, compositionally, you do see that consistency, which I think it's more along the lines of if it isn't broke, don't fix it type of thing.
Right.
It's not like a copying type of thing. I think it's just you see what works for other teams and attracts their fans, and then you try it and it attracts your fans. So it's like,
Right.
why would you stray away from something like that? I mean,
Right.
there's always room for doing more and in trying new ideas, but it's also, within the sports world, you do work on a crunch. You do work on timelines and on strict timelines for that matter on,
Hmm.
on some things. And yeah, that's just the nature of it. But yeah, man.
Yeah. I
I
mean, yeah, like I don't mean to say like we're trying not trying to reinvent the wheel every time. I mean,
right.
you're right. There's stuff that works that just works and you keep doing it. But like when you try, like you said, when you try to find these new trends and stuff like that, and try to break new ground, then I mean, obviously a little bit more is involved with that, and
Hmm.
a little bit more research and mood boarding and inspiration seeking is involved with that. But yeah, like you're right. Like there's tons of, I mean, there's so many good there's so many like not just good, like fantastic brands out there in the NFL and even college. I would argue that like college football, college sports, like there's so many talented designers and and so many incredible brands in college that, I mean, we would be lying if we didn't say that we didn't look at some of that stuff to just kind of like refresh our minds and get inspired by little things there. I mean, there's just so much talent and great things going on there. But yeah, we just look everywhere. We just look everywhere. Like you said, it's good to open your eyes and just, look at things you don't think you need, like you should look at for inspiration, because you never know like what could spark your mind. And it's just inspiration can be found anywhere. And that's the beautiful part of being a creative and designing and all that. So that's just how it goes.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come on and, have a conversation about the creative world and what you guys are doing over there in Kansas City. And I mean, it was fantastic, talking with you, having a conversation with you, face to face rather than through mentions on Twitter or through DMs on Twitter and everything like that. So again, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come on. I will plug everything, all your socials right now. Everyone go down below, check out Nick's links, his website and his Twitter will be down there. So make sure go connect with Nick, go see what he's doing, go see what him and the Chiefs team are up to. And yeah, really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for taking the time out of your day as well. It was fun. I mean, I've wanted to do this for a while, so I'm glad we finally got the chance to sit down. So I appreciate that, man. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. Well, thank you for coming out today, everyone listening to episode 97. That has taken about 6 months to do. But we will see you in episode 98. Take it easy.